The sun had only just begun to rise, spilling pale light across the vast plains. But already the world was restless. The ground, dry and cracked from weeks without rain, bore the marks of countless struggles, hoofprints, claw marks and bones left to bleach under the merciless sky. A small group of early humans lingered near the entrance of a shallow cave. Their forms gaunt, shoulders stooped under the weight of exhaustion and hunger. The air was cool, but it carried a sharp bite that cut against their skin, reminding them of the long, cold night they had barely survived. Sleep had been scarce. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of grass had sent hearts racing, for danger was never far in this world. The tribe's leader, a broad-shouldered man with scars etched across his arms, scanned the horizon with wary eyes. He knew survival today would mean venturing further than before, into unknown lands where food might be found, or where predators might be waiting. Around him, women knelt in the dust, searching for edible roots, while children clung to their sides, their stomachs rumbling softly in complaint. The little ones were weak, their ribs showing under their skin, yet they had already learned the cruel lesson of silence. One cry too loud, one laugh too free, and the grasses might shift with the stealth of a predator. The group moved cautiously into the plains. Each footstep was deliberate, every ear attuned to the smallest sounds. Birds cawed overhead, scattering from the trees, and the sudden rush of wings made the tribe freeze. They waited tense, but nothing emerged. A small relief. Soon after, one of the women unearthed a clutch of bitter tubers buried in the soil. The children's eyes lit up, but the food was meager, barely enough to share, and the taste was harsh. Still, it was something. They ate quickly, glancing over their shoulders as though even this small act of nourishment might draw unwanted eyes. The landscape offered no comfort. The tall grasses whispered in the wind, and every shadow seemed to stretch too long. The humans walked with crude tools, gripped in their hands, sharpened stones tied to sticks, little defense against the colossal beasts that roamed the land. Yet these weapons were their only hope, their fragile shield against extinction. In this harsh world, they had no certainty, no promise of tomorrow. Each moment was a gamble with fate, and every breath was borrowed from the teeth of predators. By midday, the heat became punishing. The tribe stopped at a trickle of muddy water pooled in a shallow depression. They crouched low, drinking in hurried gulps, though they knew the taste was foul and sickness lurked in every drop. But thirst was stronger than caution. The leader raised his head often, scanning, listening. Always listening. For in this life, even in the simple act of quenching thirst, death could be only a heartbeat away. The night crept in quickly, swallowing the plains and shadows, and with it came the heavy silence of waiting. The tribe had retreated to their cave, a faint fire flickering weakly at the entrance. Little more than sparks clinging to life. The fire was their shield, but not a strong one. Beyond its glow, the darkness stretched like an endless ocean, filled with unseen threats. Every sound carried weight, the snap of a branch, the distant call of an owl, the whisper of the wind in the grass. The people huddled together, their bodies pressed close for warmth, their hearts beating in unison with the pulse of fear that coursed through the group. Children lay hidden behind their mothers, eyes wide and unblinking, sensing danger even before it revealed itself. Then it came. A roar shattered the silence, rolling across the valley like thunder. The ground seemed to tremble, and the hair on every neck rose as the sound pierced the night. From the shadows emerged a saber-toothed cat, massive and terrible, its golden eyes glowing like twin flames. Muscles rippled under its sleek coat as it crept closer, its fangs glistening in the faint light. For a moment, time froze. The tribe knew that running meant certain death, yet standing their ground felt just as hopeless. The leader motioned with his hand, a silent command, and the men tightened their grip on their crude spears and stone blades. Fear burned in their chests, but desperation burned hotter. The cat lunged forward, a blur of muscle and rage, its growl echoing like a storm. The clash was immediate and brutal. Spears jabbed, stones struck, cries rang out. Sparks burst as rocks struck together in frantic attempts to kindle more flame, the firelight flaring just enough to blind and confuse the predator. Blood filled the air, the coppery scent mixing with the smoke and dust. One hunter fell under the beast's weight. His scream cut short as the cat's fangs tore into him. Another leapt forward, striking wildly. only to be swatted aside with bone-breaking force. Yet the tribe did not break. They swarmed with fury born of survival, driving their weapons again and again into the predator's hide. A final cry, sharp and guttural, broke from the leader as he thrust his spear deep into the beast's flank. The cat roared in pain, staggered, and at last retreated, limping back into the darkness, its golden eyes fading into nothing. When silence returned, it was heavier than before. The fire flickered, casting light on the ground where 2 hunters lay lifeless, their sacrifice written in blood. No words were spoken. The tribe mourned in silence, grief weighed against relief. They had survived the night, but at a cost. In this harsh world, every victory demanded something in return, and the price of life was always paid with death.